piece of news on Ground News that I thought was interesting is that it's been discovered that Trump is using his official fundraising campaigns as well as his official website to put 5% of those proceeds, which sounds small but is pretty considerable, into JD Vance's super PAC Working for Ohio, which plans to fund him for the 2028 election. Meanwhile, JD Vance is still being pretty cagey about that bid. This also begs the question, is Trump's 2028 merch all just to make more money as he uses these fundraising campaigns and the money he's making from crypto, as well as his other campaigns and his own personal website and his merch, to help affect the midterms and also threaten Republicans that don't want to stay in line? 5% has already brought in $245,000 in May and June alone. These are big numbers. But the most important thing is that all of Trump's fundraising machine is sending all of the donor and voter data to JD, which is extremely helpful in a campaign. You know what triggers people, you know what upsets them. It also helps to set up propaganda, and it's effective for mail campaigns, which have been extremely lucrative for conservatives throughout the years, and were really the grandfather of what we now know as the super PAC, which allows them to exceed campaign donation limits. And also, if it's a nonprofit super PAC, they do not have to disclose their donors. Watch the money. Because while Trump is selling Trump 2028 merch to profit off it, he's also threatening to use money against Republicans who oppose him to affect the midterms, and now shuffling this money into JD, who's intentionally being vague about his intentions whether or not to run. Now, the conservatives have a long history of mail-in campaigns to fundraise that have been extremely effective, and those gave birth to the super PACs later on. Now, this was really started by Billy James Hargis in the 1950s, who started the Christian Crusade and gained exorbitant wealth for himself because a lot of that money never made it to any kind of campaign. He had luxury cars, luxury lifestyle, private jets, and then he mentored Richard Viguerie, who was really the father of the mail-in campaign, and built these extensive lists, this data of voters and donors, and then would charge a 50% commission on everything that was brought in fundraising. Again, building himself exorbitant wealth. Much of his fundraising campaigns, 16 cents on the dollar, actually made it to the campaign or the cause that they said that they were fundraising for. And you're not going to be surprised, but these men also taught and mentored Paul Weyrich, who has done the same thing. That's the founder of the Heritage Foundation. That's the man who tried to rally evangelicals against abortion and against gay rights when they didn't care about those issues before, but he needed to make them vote for something. They have all done the same thing. So we need to track where this money is going, how the PAC's handling it, what they're spending money on, and are there mail-in campaigns that are also going out underneath this to collect more data, keep more money. I will be following this on Ground News. You know that they are my favorite news app to use. And if you go to groundnews.com/Monty, you can get 40% off their Vantage plan, which comes down to about $5 a month. It's a cup of coffee. To me, it is totally worth it. This is a story I'll be following and reporting once we can find more about where is the money going.